Thank you, Marty. Thank you for having us here today. We at Walmart appreciate the opportunity to be part of this panel and to talk to you about what we're doing. It's been a great morning so far. We've heard some great things, and I look forward to telling you a little bit about what Walmart is doing in the wind energy deal that Marty mentioned, as well as energy overall. I want to start going back to 2005 just to give you some insight as to how we came to the position that we're in today. In 2005, our CEO at the time was Lee Scott, and he announced to the world that we were going to focus as a company on how to help our customers and the world be a better place. Some of you may be familiar with our mission, which is to save people money so they can live better. We took that experience and that mission through Hurricane Katrina in 2005 and realized as a company that we could do more, that we could actually provide our customers emergency items such as water, food, clothing, and even, in some cases, even shelter during a very difficult time. Our company came together after that and thought, how can we continue this, expand our mission? And this is really where we ended up. So the goals that Lee Scott announced in 2005 were very broad, very overreaching. The first is to be supplied 100% by renewable energy. The second, to create zero waste. And the third is to sell sustainable products to our customers. At the time when those goals were announced, really, they were huge to the point that we had no idea what to do. And this is where our story started to change. Historically at Walmart, we would attack whatever issue came our way, and we really believed that we could solve it internally within our company and figure it out ourselves. When we were faced with these goals, we realized very quickly that we needed external help. We needed experts in government, in NGOs, from our vendors, and from academia. And through this process, it's how we started to move forward and accomplish some of the things that we're working toward today. We're not a sustainable green company today. We're trying to be a green company. We're working hard to get there, and a big part of that, as you can see, is our energy efforts. Very quickly, this gives you a snapshot of how we set up our objectives. We really took those three goals, and we created, at the time, 13 sustainable networks. And today we have added a fourth, which is alternative fuels, so that we have 14. The teams that I work with primarily are the two that are in red, the Global Greenhouse Gas Strategy and the Buildings Network. Within the specific renewable energy and efficiency goals, we have the goal to be supplied 100% by renewable energy, to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions at our existing stores that were in existence at 2005 by 20% by the end of 2012, and to design a new prototype for our new store footprint that will be up to 30% more efficient by the end of 2009. For our renewable energy goals, one of the first projects we worked on was solar. It's been a great learning experience for us. As you see here, this is a Sam's Club and a Walmart. I love this photo to show the involvement of both of our Sam's and Walmart formats in Chino, California. This is an exciting picture for me because the solar systems on the store and the club provide up to 30% of the energy to those facilities in renewable energy. It's been a great project for us. And another interesting thing, when we set up our project, we really didn't know how to go forward with solar. And as I mentioned, we really started working with our vendors. We went forward with 3 different suppliers, and we have 2 different suppliers shown here today. One of those is BP on the Walmart store and SunPower on the Sam's Club. So it's another opportunity for us to compare with those providers going forward. Overall, our solar project, we have 19 in place today, 17 in California on Walmart and Sam's Clubs, and 2 in Hawaii. We'll have our 20th location open this first quarter of 2009, and it will be our first ground-mounted tracking system at a distribution center. We're excited to test that as well. We went from what I just described as a pilot project where we had 20 locations that will be up and running this year in solar. This is a single microturbine on a parking lot pole in Rogers, Arkansas. It's what we would describe as a test. It's totally a learning opportunity, and we certainly have learned a lot from this. The good learnings and the good thing that we've understood is that the turbine itself performs very well. We had a lot of things to figure out in terms of the base of the parking lot pole, how to make that work, to add the additional weight for the structure. an amazing number of issues with the connection because it also provides the light, the parking lot light. Just connection issues were huge, and we finally resolved all those, and hopefully we'll be able to move from a test format to a pilot project and have several of these operating on one parking lot in another location. And from that very small microturbine test, this is the partnership that we had with Duke Energy for the No Trees Texas wind farm. As Marty mentioned, it will supply up to 15% of the energy load of 360 of our stores, clubs, and distribution centers in Texas. One of the key things I want to note here, it was a question that was actually asked to Dan earlier, and how do you go forward working with other companies? And he specifically, I think it was mentioned in the question to Dan, Duke Energy. I have to go on record saying that this absolutely was a partnership. It was not an easy deal. There were a lot of different things that had to be figured out for us as well as for Duke. And interestingly, we worked with 14 different companies after an RFP process trying to make a deal such as this work. And Duke was the one partner that stayed with us and really worked to this. Quite frankly, there were times if I were Duke, I probably would have just pushed the papers away and said, these people are crazy. These people at Walmart are just crazy. We're not an energy company. It was complicated for us to learn and to understand the different pieces, and Duke absolutely stepped up and worked with us. The really cool things about this is 226 million kilowatt hours annually, and compare that to our solar deal, which was 20 million, so it's pretty significant. It's enough power to provide 20,000 average homes with their energy supply, and it will avoid more than 139,000 metric tons of CO2. As important and glamorous as renewables are, and as Dan mentioned earlier, that maybe it's harder to make the efficiency projects look as glamorous. I quite frankly love this photo. I think it just shows where some of the basic efficiency projects can be. And if you think about that statement that I made about 2 years ago at the conference in California, where I said that we're picking things up off the ground, the fruit, not even the low-hanging fruit, but the fruit on the ground, this would be a great example. And the thing that you notice initially is the skylights there on the store. But really one of the big important things that I think that we need to talk about is the white roof, which absolutely reduces the energy consumption of our stores. And if you're just flying sometime, look at the roofs when you're pulling in or landing, and notice how many roofs aren't white. Just by that simple change, there is significant savings to be had in terms of energy consumption. And quite interestingly, this actually for us, a white roof, is the same price or even a little bit less than our previous roof that we use. So a great opportunity here. In terms of skylights, we love our skylights. We're very, very proud of what we've been able to accomplish with skylights with our dimming system, so that we are able to dim our lights naturally or automatically through the natural light that comes in through the skylights. It's been a great opportunity for us. One of the things that we learned in our solar project, however, is that our solar providers found it to be a bit cumbersome to work on our roofs because of the number of skylights that we have on our roofs. Just quickly, I'll hit on some of the other efficiency things you've probably heard about before, but one of the projects that we're really excited about that we implemented about 2 years ago is LED lights in our refrigerated cases. We rolled out 500 of those this past year in retrofit projects as well as all of our new stores, and this year we'll be adding about 600 more locations with LED refrigerated lights. This is another test, just take you from the rollout stage back to the test. This is a location in Bentonville or Rogers, Arkansas, actually, where we switched the standard lights, and at one night we went in and did half the parking lot in the traditional lighting, and then you'll see on the right we installed LED lights in those parking lot lights. We're very, very pleased with the results in the lighting. In fact, we think that the lighting is better with the LED lights, the photo on the right. This is still, however, it's just not economical for us at this time. We've got to continue to work with the manufacturers to get the price down. In terms of our new proto design, we have the goal to be 25 to 30% more efficient by the end of this year in a new proto design. We've achieved that through our HE protos in HE1 and HE2, which we have 8 of those locations that are currently operating. Those primarily focus on HVAC, lighting, and refrigeration gains, as well as some secondary loop technology for heating and water systems. And another new development that occurred this year, we opened our first HE5 location, which was in Las Vegas. It's for those more arid temperature locations, but it actually is going to show us about 45% savings in energy costs and usage in these stores. You've heard a lot today about the advanced meters and the smart grid. We also believe strongly in the importance of advanced meters. And today we have in all of our locations are controlled in lighting and refrigeration and air conditioning and heating are controlled from the home office in Bentonville, Arkansas. It really gives us a lot of opportunities to manage our load. I mentioned a little bit earlier the daylight lighting dimming system that we have today. Currently, we just rolled out about 2 weeks ago an even further reduced lighting level based on our natural day lighting. So we're testing that to see how that results in the stores. We currently have about over 1,000 advanced meters in place at our stores. We participate or signed up or able to participate in 23 different states in demand response, and we're really excited about those opportunities as well. And then finally, there's so much going on policy. I just wanted to put a quick slide in to say that we believe that it's in a very important time, and it actually will drive the future for our country in terms of how we move forward with energy resources. Walmart is very excited to be part of this and to sit at the table in these discussions. Thank you.